Picture this: in a workshop room in Detroit, a group sits quietly as Marshall Rosenberg invites them to try something unusual, speaking honestly without blame or judgment. A woman hesitates, then confesses how she's carried anger from years of criticism. What if there's a way to communicate that doesn't tear us down, but builds bridges instead? This moment sets the stage for the powerful shift Marshall calls nonviolent communication, one that could transform how we connect. First, we have to see the violence lurking in everyday talk. It's not just physical fights, it's the words and tone that push people away or trap us in conflict. At that Detroit workshop, a man named James admitted he always snapped at his teenage daughter, calling her lazy and careless. Marshall asked him to say what he was feeling and needing instead. James realized that behind the lashings was fear and a deep desire for trust. This moment cracked his habitual anger wide open. Imagine violent communication as a virus contaminating your relationships. Judgments, criticisms, and demands spread fast, creating walls instead of bridges. Like a poison, these words infect the listener's emotional safety. Rosenberg calls this the disconnect virus. It fuels defensiveness and shuts down real listening. The payoff: when you spot blame and stop using it, a strange freedom emerges. Suddenly you talk without the right or wrong labels and don't trigger defensive walls. You open a path to understanding and real connection. It's like switching from combat to conversation without giving up honesty. Rosenberg breaks down his method into 4 clear steps. They're simple, but using them rewires how you relate to others and yourself. In a classroom in New Mexico, a teacher complained, "My students are lazy." Rosenberg asked her to describe what she actually saw without adding judgment. Instead of lazy, she said, "They don't turn in homework on time." The shift: instead of blame, there's just raw observation, clean, factual, and clear from assumptions. Feelings are the bloodline of connection. Rosenberg illustrates this by comparing feelings to weather. You don't control them, but you can notice if it's stormy or sunny inside. Saying, "I feel frustrated," invites empathy, while "you make me angry" fires a weapon. Telling your feelings honestly builds an emotional bridge. Needs drive everything. Imagine needs as the invisible strings pulling your actions and feelings. Rosenberg describes a man arguing with his wife who steps back, asking silently, "What need am I trying to meet?" Realizing he needed respect, not to be right, changed the whole argument's course, moving from attack to listening. It's not just about speaking. Listening and asking clearly reshape every interaction. Rosenberg's method turns power into partnership. In a clinic in Philadelphia, a nurse used empathy to connect with a scared child refusing treatment. Instead of pushing, she reflected back what she heard. "You're really afraid because this hurts, right?" The child relaxed, opening up in a way no lecture or scolding could achieve. Empathy cracked the hardest shell. Rosenberg contrasts a demand with a request using a simple but vivid example. Instead of saying, "You have to clean your room," say, "Would you be willing to tidy up for 10 minutes? Requests respect choice and invite cooperation, flipping the script from control to collaboration. The real magic: when you share power by focusing on everyone's needs instead of winning, you tap into resources and goodwill that were invisible before. Rosenberg tells of a factory where managers invited workers to express their needs openly, leading to solutions that saved jobs and morale. Power shifts from me versus you to us together. Remember back to that Detroit workshop. James's anger softened when he stopped judging and started expressing his real needs. That's the heart of nonviolent communication, a tool to turn everyday conflict into connection. Tonight, try this. Next time you're triggered, pause and name your feeling and need silently. See how the conversation shifts from battle to bridge. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.